your girl Unique Elijah back again on your screen, and is my testimony series by Unique Elijah. Thank you very much for your support. Like, the turn up on my last video was amazing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you very much to my returning subscribers. Thank you for coming back. To my subscribers, thank you very much. And if this is your first time visiting this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button and also turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time I post new videos. Thank you guys very much. So without further ado, we're going to dive right into today's business. So sit back, relax, don't go nowhere. We'll be back shortly. Hey, welcome back, guys. So it's episode 2 of my testimony series. So relax, okay? You're about to hear something that is going to blow your mind. Yes, and it's not fake. It is true. This is a true life story. This is a true life testimony, okay? So, like I said in my last video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I survived ritual killers. Yes, I was kidnapped by ritual killers and I survived. God brought me back. I'm not talking about people that kidnap for ransom. There are people that kidnap you for money. They want to collect money from your people, and when the money is paid, they release you. No, this was not the case. I was kidnapped by ritual killers and God saved me. So I'm sure this is what you want to hear. So sit back and relax. Let's go right in. Hey guys, so I'm sure you have your popcorn by now. I hope you're ready for the story. Okay, so this happened in my first year in the university. I graduated from Imo State University. Yes, I'm an Imo-lite. Yes, and that was in 2012. I was a fresher. I was in my year 1, and it was in our second semester, year 1. So I have this friend of mine I was staying with because I really wanted to stay in the hostel. My house was not far from the school though. I live at Ikenebu and my school is Imo State University, IMSU, and you know it's not far. If you're in Owerri or even if you're conversant with Imo State, you know that the distance from Ikenebu to my school, to Imo State University, is like 10 minutes. It's not far. So I was staying with my friend Chineye. So that day, before then, there's this shoe I came to school with. So she saw the shoe, she really liked the shoe. So she was like, I like this your shoe. Where did you buy it from? I said, I didn't buy it. I had there's this our family friend, we call him Uncle. He used to know, he normally sends something for us from UK. Like, he sends a lot of things for us from the UK. He's like our family friend, but we call him Uncle. So I told her that I didn't buy the shoe. My uncle sent it to me from the UK, and she said she really liked the shoe. I said, okay, fine, if you really like this shoe, I have a church member of ours that sells shoes too. She sells really good shoes. So, but if you show her the shoe you want, she can, go and get it for you. So she said, okay, fine, I should hook up with the person. So I hooked up with my church member, Adana. So I told her that, okay, look at the shoe. I showed her the shoe. She was like, okay, she can actually get the shoe when next she goes to buy her stores from Lagos. So I don't know where she shops from. So we bargained the price. So I got back to my friend and I told her, okay, look at the price. She said it's okay that she should just get the shoe. So I told her her size and all of that. So the next week, because normally I come back to my house every weekend. Okay, so I normally go to the hostel during exams and all of that. So I just stay with my friend during exams, so I wouldn't get distracted and all of that. I really wanted to stay in the hostel. Yes, I really wanted to leave the house because I was tired of staying in the house or going to school from the house and all of that. So the next weekend I came back and I met my friend in church, our church member. She already brought the shoes, so I took it from her and I went home with it. So I wasn't planning on going back to school that Sunday. So, but my friend, around 4 p.m., my friend called me and she was like, Ada, you're not coming back to the hostel today? I said, no, I'll be coming back tomorrow morning. She's like, oh my God, that she really needed that shoe to go for. She had a birthday party or a place she wanted to go that Sunday evening, and she really wanted to wear that shoe. I was like, oh my God, I wasn't planning on coming back. She just like, please, please, please. I said, okay, fine. let me see what I can do. So I went to meet my dad because I didn't have any cash on me. So I went to meet my dad, and I told my dad that I needed to go to the school to drop the shoes for my friend, that she really needed to go somewhere with it. So I just need to drop it for her and then come back. So my father was like, okay, you know it's already getting late. I said yes, but I won't waste time. I'll just go drop the shoe and come back. She said okay. He said okay. So he gave me, I took transport money from him. He gave me 200 naira. Yes, 200 naira. So, and now, you know, the distance from my school, from my house to the school it's not far. It's like 10 minutes. So normally I just, with the 200 naira, what I have to do is I just walk to the junction. So our house is just opposite ITC Park along MCC Road. In a way, my Imolite will understand. So I walked to the junction and I took 50 naira out of the 200 naira I had. I took a tricycle to the junction, to Chukwumawaha Junction. Then from the junction, I also took another 50 naira to my hostel, which equated to 100 naira. So I had 100 naira left on me. So I got to the hostel, I dropped the shoe for her. She sized the shoe and it didn't fit. Yes, it wasn't her perfect fit. It was a little bit loose. And you know, going for a birthday party or an event where you need to shake your body and you're wearing an uncomfortable shoe, it's really not, it doesn't make sense. So she ended up, now the purpose of me leaving my house that Sunday evening to deliver the shoes to her was defeated because she ended up not wearing it. So when she, you know, sized the shoe and it didn't fit her, it was loose, I was like, oh my God, that's why I said it. She was like, okay, that she can't wear, no problem, she won't even go again. So you know, normally friends now started gisting, talking and all of that. So I forgot myself that I was supposed to go back home and it was getting late. So once it was around 6:06, my father now called me. I was like, Adane, are you not looking at the time? It's already getting late. Because my father doesn't like me coming back late or coming back in the night or whatever, or when it's already getting dark. So he now called me. He was the one that remembered. I was like, sorry, oh dad, I forgot. Okay, I'm leaving now. I'm coming back immediately. So I quickly rushed out of the place, out of the hostel. So my friend just walked me to the junction where I will wait for the taxi or tricycle that would take me to my house where I was going. So something really spectacular happened when I stopped at that junction. I just, out of nowhere, I had goosebumps. Like immediately I stood at that junction, I just had this unusual goosebumps. And immediately what I said was, God save me this evening. No, that was what came out of my mouth. I don't know. I just felt it immediately. So I was like, God save me this evening. No, that was just what I said. So I was now waiting for the tricycle, keke. So I stopped the first tricycle and the tricycle said, are you going for a special drop? I said, no, I'm not going for a special drop. I'm going for the regular. Just drop me at the junction. Let me walk to my house. And he said, no, that he's going for special drop. And normally what they do, once it's evening, they will now start doing, you know, they will start becoming, so they will start doing shakara, start doing guy and all of that. So they will just be misbehaving and all of that. So they were like, they wanted a special drop. I was like, I'm not going for a special drop. I don't have money for a special drop, because when you're taking a special drop is like chartering the taxi. It's going to carry just you, the tricycle rather. It's going to carry just you. So I had just 100 naira left with me. So there was no way I could bargain for that. So the first tricycle came and I stopped him. He said, where are you going to? I told him my destination. He said, are you going on a special drop? I said, no, I'm just going on a regular. He said, no, that one will move. Another one will come. The same thing. That it happened for like 5 times. And as I was still there waiting for the taxi or the tricycle, it was getting a little bit dark. So after like few trials, another tricycle came by, and I flagged him down. He was like, so you're still here? I said, he obviously was one of the tricycles I stopped earlier. So it was like, you're still here. I said, I'm still here. Since people don't want to carry me, people are looking for special job. As I don't have money for special job now, what am I going to do? I have to wait for someone that will go on a regular job. So he said, okay, that do I have 150? Let him just drop me. I said, okay, I don't have 150 naira with me. I just have 100 naira. So if you're going to take 100 naira to drop me, to take me on a special job and drop me where I'm going to, then it's okay. That's the only money I have on me. He said reluctantly, and I said, okay, all right, let me help you. I said, thank you very much. I entered the tricycle and he moved. And immediately I entered the tricycle, my father called me and I told him I was already on my way. So from the time I told him I was already on my way, it shouldn't take me more than 10 minutes to get to the house. So I got, we drove off. So on getting to, normally it's a straight road. It wasn't meant to take any diversion or anything. So it's supposed to be a straight road to my house. But the guy, he just got to the junction, he got to a place where he's supposed to just take straight, and he diverted. And I was like, Oga, why are you diverting now? Like, this is the road. Why are you taking this other diversion? Why? And he was like, that it's already, it's getting dark. And the police people, they're always at that, the road I asked him to take, that they will stop him. And, when it's late like this, they don't allow them to take special job. And they will now collect his money. Like, is it this 100 naira that I'm going to pay him now? I want him to go and lose all his money and dash all his money to police men, all these traffic warders and all of that. And I told him, my question was, why would police stop you? Why would they stop you? Are your papers not complete? Why would police just see you and stop you? Why would they stop you if your papers not complete? That was the question I asked him. He was like, that's one thing with you girls. Now somebody's trying to help you and you're not telling me this. So I will not, because of this 100 naira you want to pay me, I will not go and spend 5,000 naira and give that to these police people. When he started saying that, I was like, okay, this is the last conversation I can remember. That was the last conversation we had. And I was like, okay, I keep quiet. So he started moving. So I think that conversation that I engaged with him, that was when whatever he did happened. So at that point, I didn't know where I was anymore. So he drove and drove and drove. Like, I don't know how long we drove. I don't know where he took me to. But it was like, it was getting dark and dark. I didn't even know. Like, I was just in the tricycle. Like, I wasn't saying anything. So it was more like he drove. Then it was more like something just hit me. Like, where are you going to? That was just the voice I heard. Like, it just woke me up. Where are you going to? So immediately, that was when I got myself, and I asked the tricycle man, the driver. I asked him, Oga, where are we going? And at that time, tricycle is open sideways. So I could already see that we were in the bush. And we were the only people on that road. It's a narrow road, like the bush on this way, the bush on that way. And, with the tiny light of tricycle. So I could see that with the light, we were just in the middle of nowhere. So immediately, I had these goosebumps all over my body. I became scared. Then I knew that there was danger. So immediately I just reduced my voice as low, as polite as I could be. And I was like, sir, where are we going? He now looked at me. What do you mean? Where did you say you were going to? I'm dropping you where you said you're going to. I said, but Oga, this is not the way to my house. This is not, I don't even know where we are. There's no bush around my area. He didn't answer me. He didn't say anything. He just moved a little for like few seconds. Then he stopped his keke. His light was still on. He stopped his keke. Then he went out. He went out like, I was like, Oga, why are you stopping the tricycle now? He now said, he wants to refuel his tank. I said, okay, sir. In the middle of the bush, that's when you want to refuel tank. At that point, I was already scared. I already knew that now this is a big problem. So he just went outside, just touched his keke, took the gallon from the boot, just, did whatever he did and came back. So I felt that was him alerting the people in the bush that, okay, we have arrived though. So he now came back. When he did that, he now came back inside the car and turned off his keke, turned off his lights, and now turned back to me. Hey, at that point, you can imagine, at that point my whole body was shaking. He just turned to me and now said to me, he asked me, do you know who I am? I said, Oga, I don't know you, sir. You just carried me from Imsuba Gate. I don't know you, sir. He said, okay, so if I don't know him, that's the more reason why I should be scared. He now raised his clothes, his shirt, just to display the gun for me. Hey, God. At that point, and I started begging him. I said, Oga, I don't know you. I didn't do anything bad to you. You said you were going to help me. Please, can you just drop me? Okay, just take me back to the junction where you brought me. It's okay. I will still give you the money, but just take me back to the junction. So I should shut up. While I was still begging him, 3 men. This story is something that when I start talking about it, I start having, like, my head starts swelling and all of that. But I'm going to try to be calm as much as I can. So as I was I was still begging this man, Oga, please now. Immediately 3 men from the bush started coming out. And I saw them, they were bare-chested. They didn't have anything on. They were not wearing no tops. They were not wearing anything on top. So it was just their trousers, and they tied something, a red scarf on their head, and they had this palm leaf on their lips. So they started coming out. I was like, I died and resurrected. I was like, Jesus. I was begging the man. I was just talking to the driver. I was like, Oga, please now, please. He said that I should not beg him, that I should not beg him, that this is his business he's doing, that if he has been listening to people's beggings, that he won't be doing this business. That I'm not the first person. That I should just pray. That I just prepare my mind that I shouldn't beg him, that this is his business. That do I know how many people that has begged, that it's not by begging. Hey, God. So at that point, my mind already flew. Then those guys were approaching, they just stood, one of them was standing beside me, and I said I should come out of the tricycle. I told him, I'm not coming out though. I'm not coming. I didn't even say anything. I just nodded my head like, I'm not coming out. I just shook my head. And imagine me then, I was in my year 1. I was really skinny. I was so tiny. Really, not now that I have little flesh. I was so skinny at that time. So it was so, and these 3 hefty men plus the driver, that's 4 of them. So they just dragged me out of the bush. And when immediately they got to me, the first thing one of them said was, are you the unfortunate girl this night? In my heart, I rejected it. I was like, God forbid, I cannot be unfortunate. I said that in my heart. It was like, are you the unfortunate girl this night? I was just looking at him. He dragged me out of the keke, the tricycle, and they started dragging me inside the bush. So then I asked me, what is your name? I said, my name was Adeze. That was what I told them. I said, my name is Adeze. They said, your name is Adeze. And Adeze in my dialect means princess. So the meaning of Adeze is princess. That's the daughter of a king. That's the meaning of my name. Not like my father is a king. So then I asked me, your name is Adeze. Is your father a king? I said, no, sir. My father is a pastor. And immediately they were like, okay now, your father is a pastor. It's okay now. That means you're going to be a born again. You're going to go to heaven. And when you die, you go to heaven. I was just looking. At that point, my mind already left. And one thing I said in my mind, I was like, God, why would you do this to me? Like, I was just in my mind, I was just deliberating with God. I said, God, if I was going to die, why did you leave me to die with my friends? Why did I die in the trailer accident? Why did you save me from a near-death situation like that, and for me to come and die like this? Like, it would have been better to die that way than dying this way. Like, and at this point, my parents will not know where I am. A lot of people are going to say a lot of nonsense things. They will say, Imsu girls, who knows one sugar daddy she followed. A lot of people would say a lot of stories because nobody will know where I am. So why would I was talking to God. I said, why would you put my parents through this? Like, why would my parents have to start thinking, okay, where is she? Where is she? Is she alive? Is she dead? Like, I can't die. Like, why would I die this way? That was what I was saying in my mind. And immediately my phone rang. My father called. And I think he's been trying to get in touch with me. According to him, he was trying to get in contact with me, but network was bad because that was a bush. So I think at that point we just got a little signal, and his call came in. Immediately he started shouting. When my phone rang, I was like, "Oh, who is that? Who is that? Who is calling? Who is calling?" They took my phone from me, and they turned the phone. They ended the call, and they switched my phone off. So at that time, according to my dad, he knew that there was a problem because I can never end the call of my dad, or even switch the phone off afterwards. So they continued dragging me inside the bush where they were going to complete their mission. Now, the horrific part, it wasn't just the parts that they were dragging me inside the bush, but they were receiving calls from their clients that they were supposed to deposit or deliver the parts to, the body parts. So they were receiving calls, and the calls were coming in. They'll be like, okay, chief, we're going to deliver in few minutes. We are coming, give us a few minutes, we're going to deliver. And they were getting calls from different people. And I'm sure, like, it wasn't one person that they were supposed to, deliver the body parts to. Maybe they've already booked. Some people want some parts of the body, some organs of the body, some want the kidney, blah, 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 and all of that. So they were receiving those calls. And I was still alive, and people were deliberating on my parts. Like, I said, God, they were receiving those calls, and that was where my mind, that was at the point where my mind just left my body. I said, God, not my will, but thy will be done. If this is how you want me to die, it's okay. I already made up my mind to die. I already made up my mind that, okay, this was the end of the road for me. So, they continued dragging me. They were just this close to where they've already arranged for the slaughter, where they've already the sprayed wrapper, on the floor, a cloth on the floor, on the grass. When they are dragging me, in fact, I had some injuries. By that point, I was numb, but I wasn't feeling any pain because my spirit has left my body at that point. So, just when we were about to get to the place where they were supposed to start the slaughtering, one of them said, but wait, this girl is actually a witch. That was what the person said. And when he said that, they were like, if he's a witch now, we are going to kill him. We kill her rather. If she's a witch. So he said that, and the next second he was like, this girl is a witch. You didn't people hear what she said? She said her father is a pastor. People should leave this girl alone. No, she's going to spoil something for us. So people should leave this girl alone. And they pounced on the guy. They started, arguing. You're very stupid. Don't say that rubbish. And you can imagine the depth of the bush where we were, and they were making so much noise. They were making so much noise, yet nobody could hear them. So you can imagine the depth of the bush. So, they started fighting each other. They started arguing. But like, the guy now, like, God put confusion in their midst. They started fighting each other. The guy was like, God raised a voice for me amongst them. Now, this guy took it upon himself. He's like, people should not touch this girl. This girl is a witch. Don't touch her because she's innocent. Don't touch her because she's a witch. That's to tell you that he doesn't even know what he was saying. God just used him. So he was like, people should leave this girl. Look at how fair she is. She's a witch. She's going to spoil something for us. This one, that one, they were dragging, they were fighting and all of that. They started dragging. So this one would try to touch me. He will hit the hand out. In fact, I up to today, I still can't imagine how one person was able to overpower 3 people, 3 men. I was just like, at that point, they argued. They were fighting this one, that one, that one. They now left me. 3 of them now went, they just they just shifted a bit and they were not arguing there, and they left me with one person to just probably keep watch. So as they were arguing and they were fighting, just arguing a lot of, like, the guy was like, no, you should leave this girl. You're not going to touch this girl. Leave her alone. This one, that one. At that point, I was like, God, because already my mind has left, my spirit has left. But at that point, my spirit started coming back. Now, to tell you that God was actually working, the guy, one of the ritualists that was with me, he now said to me, and I quote, "I don't go to church. I am not a Christian. I don't know who God is. I don't even have conscience." I'm quoting him. "I don't even have conscience. But what I'm going to tell you is like that God that your father is serving wants to save you." This was what a ritualist said to me. He said, "It's like that God that your father serves wants to save you. Just keep praying." God immediately, oh God, okay. Immediately it felt like life came back to me. I just looked at him and he said, "Just pray to that your God. It's like he wants to save you because this has never happened." Immediately, in my heart, I just started praying. I said, "God, I don't know how you're going to do it, but now, I lost hope before, but now I believe that you can do something about this." I was just praying in my heart. I was just praying in my mind. At that point, my father was already worried. He said he was praying. He was just, he started driving around my area. He doesn't know where the hostel is. So he didn't even know where to start searching for me. He didn't have my friend's number. So there was no way he could even get to me. My mom didn't know what was happening. My mom didn't even know that I went to the hostel because my mom was they were in a meeting in church when I met my dad and, left. So she didn't even know what was happening. So it was just my dad, and my dad didn't want to tell my mom because my mom would panic. So my father decided to just stay calm. So immediately they deliberated, they argued for a long time. At the end of the day, they started coming back to me. My mind flew. I said, "God, I don't know how you're going to do this, but I know you're going to save me from these people. You've started it. You've already put confusion amongst them. You're going to complete this thing. You're going." At that point, I was just praying in my mind. So they now came. They came back to me. That one that was fighting, God used, was like, "Look at her, witch." The keke man now dragged me. They started dragging me back to the keke, to the tricycle. I was like, I didn't know what was happening. He now started dragging me back. I had bruises on my skin at that point, but I wasn't feeling any pain. They just dragged me back. He just jacked me like this and just threw me inside the tricycle. I didn't feel any pain. I was still numb, but I was still trying to understand what was happening. So immediately he just threw me inside. He wanted to start the tricycle. That one that was fighting them rushed. He was like, he should wait. Like, he doesn't trust him. So he will not go out there and kill this girl. He entered the tricycle with me. Like, God turned the people that held me captive, God turned them to angels. God turned one of them to a guardian angel. Now he was now protecting me that was brought to be slaughtered. No one should tell me nothing. No one should tell me that God does not exist. Nobody should tell me that. No, nobody should tell me that. He just jumped inside the tricycle and told the guy, "I don't trust you, so you not go out and hurt this girl." That was how they carried me. They just carried me to, they started taking me back to where they picked me up from. Now, the man that was calling me a witch, that was saying, "This girl is a witch, leave her, she's going to spoil something for us, this one, that one." The man now said to me, "Whichever God your father is serving, serve him for the rest of your life." I looked at him and said, "Yes." That this is the second time. The first time I heard it was from one of them that they were assigned to watch over me while they argued and all of that. Now, this person that God used that God used, the voice that God raised amongst the people that was supposed to slaughter me, was the same person that was not telling me that I should just serve this God that my father is serving. I should serve him. They took me, drove me. I don't know. At that point, I didn't even know. Even up to today, I don't know where I came out from. I don't know what. I cannot recognize, because after the whole thing, my father, we involved the police. We tried to, trace the place, but I could not recognize anywhere, because at that point, my eyes were not clear yet. And he said that to me. I looked at him. I said, "Thank you, sir." They continued driving, and he said to me, "If you know where you came out from, a lot of girls have gone through this route and they never came back alive. If you know where you're coming out from, you're going to serve that God your father is serving." Emphasis on the God your father was serving. I was looking at him. Now, they also made one comment. He told them, "People should leave this girl. Don't worry, it's not IMSU, all these careless IMSU girls, they're going to pick one person this night and they will deliver to the people in time." So I'm sure they picked somebody that night and they killed the person and probably delivered the parts. Because at that time, a lot of students were getting missing. Sometimes when God does some things, like even when I told my story, it sounded like, is this true? But it is true, like it happened. They drove me the same way they carried me. Now, no longer I and the keke, the driver, one of them were now with me. And at that time, I didn't even know what time it was again, because it was very, very late. So when we were even driving on the road, we were not even seeing people till we got to the place. Now, before the junction to my house, there is a police post there. So what they did, when they saw that police post, where police people are normally there, night patrols and all of that. So what they did was, when they were not approaching and they saw that police post, what they did was they just slowed down before that place. They just slowed down their keke and pushed me out. Now he pushed me out through my phone and the shoe, because that was the only thing I had. I had my phone, 100 naira, and the shoe that I went to deliver. Now they just slowed down. They pushed me off the keke and they threw my phone and my shoe to me. They just threw it on me. Now the funny thing that happened was, immediately somebody that they pushed out of the keke, while the keke just slowed down a little bit, and now I was holding the 100 naira with me. I just because I was so cautious, I didn't know what was happening. They just pushed me out and I was like, "Okay, brother, take your money, take your 100 naira." The way he hits my hand, put my hand at the 100 naira, the way he hits the hand off the keke was so funny. I just fell on the ground and they moved. And at that point, my father was already going crazy, looking for me. He was just, I was lying down on the floor. And I laid down there. I didn't stand up. I was like, God. Because they just dropped me a stone throw to my house. I said, God. I was just there. I didn't get myself. Even when I finally got home, my father just looked at me. I was like, "Are you okay? What happened?" I couldn't talk. I was dumb. I couldn't see anything. I was dumbfounded. I couldn't say a word to my dad. He picked me up from the place, because my father was actually looking for me. He was just driving around the streets, just searching for me up and down. Not knowing that I was just on the floor there, just by the road. I'm sure somebody that will be passing by will be like, "Who is this girl that is, maybe she ran mad newly or something." That was how God saved me. Like, who else but not God? Like, how do you explain someone that was already there? Like, they've taken me to the point where they were supposed to slaughter themselves and not me. And they were receiving calls from their clients that needed some part of their body and not mine. But God raised a voice amongst them. God is going to raise a voice amongst your enemies. Wherever they are gathering against you, God will raise a voice for you. Somebody will come and carry your matter for their head. Somebody will come and stand in for you amongst those enemies. I'm not talking about someone else. Amidst those enemies that are planning against you, God will raise a voice for you. Like, even up to today, when I try to think about it, I get so overwhelmed and I just tear up. But then I said, God, this is me trying to encourage some people. I don't know what situation you're going through. I don't know what position you are right now. I don't know that problem you feel that this is it for me. God, even in that your office. Now, I'm not preaching, but I'm just trying to encourage you. Like, I'm sharing my testimony. I'm also using this testimony to encourage someone. If God could save me from the hands of the wicked ones, from the hands of ritualists, there was no excuse. There was no reason why I should come out of that place alive. They said it with their own mouth that a lot of girls have gone down this road and they didn't survive it. But I did. Is it because I'm so pretty? Is it because I'm a born again tongue speaking sister? No. His grace. God is still in the business of doing miracles. Like, I don't know why I'm going this way, but I just want you to know that no matter what you're going through, look at me. This life you're seeing right now, the life I now live, I always say, my father always says something. He said, the daughter that I had, or the one I gave birth to, died during the accident. This is a new one. My father says that. He said, the one I had, my own child, she died during the accident. This is a new child. This is the life I'm living now is for Christ. It's not me. I have not done nothing to deserve it. I have not done anything to deserve it. But God has always found a way to deliver me from near-death situations times and over and over again. I'm just going to play this song for just a few seconds, and please just sing along. Like, I know, I don't know how to say it. guys. So okay, this is where we're gonna end this video today. Our series continues next week, so I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna be testifying. I'm not gonna tell you the next testimony, but just anticipate. Like, see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to comment. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and also turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time I post new videos. I love you guys very much. Thank you for your support and keep supporting me. God bless you guys. God bless you. See you in my next video. Bye.